The prosecution could have gave Diddy 10 years right off the scene.
All right, y'all. So Gene Deal just went on The Art of Dialogue, and he did not hold back when it comes to Diddy. Let's talk about what he said and what it really means.
The way they did this whole case and how they did this whole case, my man, they didn't want to put this dude behind bars. They didn't want to give this guy a lot of time. All that shit was a facade. So these dudes that celebrating him, they got to watch what they celebrate, because people will look at him as if, yo, you celebrating a woman beater. You celebrate a sexual deviant. It ain't just what this dude do in his bedroom. It's how he treat the people around him. You celebrating all that crazy stuff. And then by you having a platform and people see that, they take it and they run with it. Like this dude wasn't a criminal.
Gene's been saying this for a minute now. He's been calling out the bad boy culture, how Diddy moved behind the scenes. And in this new interview, he basically said what a lot of folks have been scared to. He talks about how Diddy allegedly ran things like a boss, but not in a good way. Gene paints a picture of control, fear, and manipulation.
That's your man? All right. I guess you waiting for him to bust off on you too. Because that's what your man do to other men. That's what he around. That's what he like. But that's your man. The prosecution could have gave Diddy 10 years right off the scene. They caught drugs in the house. So he was looking at 10 years flat. They didn't even charge him with that. They didn't even charge him with that. That's a facade. Any prosecutor just coming out of school, and I wrote board cases for the state, the first charge we gonna put in there is the gun charge. Cause the judge gonna look at that. He was a convicted felon and he had guns? Now, Diddy wasn't a convicted felon at the time. But they gonna look at him, he had guns? And the guns were defaced? Oh, why is he defacing weapons? If he's a law-abiding citizen. If he's a law-abiding citizen, why is he defacing weapons? That's the first charge when you want somebody locked up that you're going to put on there. The second charge is going to be the drugs. The second charge is going to be the drugs. How much drugs they caught at the house, how much drugs they caught at the hotel. They're going to put all that stuff together. And they're going to say, he had this much drugs. They had this amount of drugs at his house and during his arrest. They didn't even put that.
At one point, he says, they all knew. They just stayed silent because they were either scared or eating off the plate. That right there, that's deeper than just a celebrity drama that's about power. And if you've been following this case, then you know this isn't about one incident. This is about a pattern. And Gene, who was there, is calling it out now that the walls are closing in. And let's not forget, Gene ain't a blogger. He ain't TMZ. This man was right there with Puff, on the streets, backstage, in the rooms most people never got access to. So you gotta ask, if he's lying, why hasn't Diddy ever sued him for defamation? Why hasn't he tried to shut him down? What I respect about Gene is that he's not doing this to go viral. He looks tired, like he's been carrying this truth for too long. And now he's just letting it out. Do I believe everything he's saying? That's up to you. But I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire. And the way this Diddy case is unraveling, it's not just about guilt in court. It's about a legacy cracking. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Gene Deal just venting? Or is he giving us the truth nobody else would?